Hey everybody, it is Radleigh here with the Angelic Weather Report for the week of February 1st. So, this month we are going to be talking about relationships, not just romantic ones. They'll probably come up, but this is all meant to be about the relationships that matter to us in our lives. That can be romantic, but it can also be siblings, it can be parents, it can be very intimate but platonic friendships. It can be chosen family, it can be birth family, it can be whatever. um but this whole thing is about connection this month. So for example, today, our spread, I've called it the sacred web of connection. Xander says hello. um because it's about how clarity can help to build the strongest bonds. And as we step into February, we step into a month that is traditionally gets labeled as the month of love. But like I said, we're expanding that definition to not just be romance, because love can be how we speak, love can be how we listen, love is how we show up, love is how we hold space and how we protect one another. Love is how we build trust over time. So, as we're talking about relationships, we're not just talking about the relationships themselves, we're talking about the connection in every form. Um, so this week's cards open February with a really powerful message. So let's go ahead and take a peek. So the first card I'm calling the connection that awakens, and the card is the Ace of Air. This is the Ace of Swords for you traditionalists. So this is the energy that begins the connection. Ace of Air is clarity and truth, honesty and communication. This is about clean energy in relationships. No manipulation, no guessing games, no emotional fog and smoke and mirrors. This card speaks to conversations that clear the air, trust that creates freedom, and honesty that builds trust instead of fear. But it's also about mental connection, being able to think together, talk together, understand each other, and respect each other's perspectives. And so, what we're really talking here is that real connection begins with truth. Clarity creates safety. So, the next card, I'm calling it the connection that strengthens. And ironically, the card is the strength card. Can't make this stuff up. So, this is how connection deepens. Strength is compassion and patience, gentleness, courage, and emotional maturity. This card isn't about force, it's about soft power, the strength to stay kind, the strength to stay open, the strength to stay present, and the strength to love without control. This, this shows relationships that are built through emotional safety, empathy, trust, and calm presence. And it also speaks to a self relationship about being gentle with yourself, patience with your healing, and compassion with your growth. True strength in relationships is emotional intelligence, because just like this card, gentleness is power. The last card is the connection that endures, and it's 10 of earth. Now that's 10 of coins, pentacles. Had to think for a second, for traditionalists. But this is the stability that's being formed. The 10 of earth is long term connection, it's belonging, it's safety, shared foundations. This is about relationships that feel anchored, not chaotic, not fragile, not uncertain. It speaks to chosen family and deep friendships, stable partnerships, support systems, and soul communities. This card isn't about intensity, it's about reliability. People you can count on, spaces where you feel safe, connections that hold you but do not drain you. You are building bonds that last. Tells us that safe connection is sacred. So, how does all this come together? Well, this week opens February with a grounded, mature vision of connection. The Ace of Air says relationships that thrive are built on truth, clarity, and honest communication, not performance and not guessing and not pretending, just real, clean, open energy. Strength reminds you that love isn't force, it's compassion, it's patience, it's emotional safety. It's the courage to stay soft in a hard world. And the 10 of Earth shows the result: relationships that are stable, nourishing, and enduring, connections that feel like home, people who feel like home, spaces where you can rest and be yourself. And so the movement of this week is clarity leads to compassion, leads to stability. It's not about dramatic relationships, it's about healthy ones. It's about safe, real, grounded, soul aligned bonds. So we're not starting the February, this month of Valentine's Day and all that. We're not starting it with intensity, but we are starting it with integrity, not with fantasy, but with foundation, and not with illusion, but with pure truth. And so, who are the angels that I'm going to recommend to you today? Well, it's these three people together. So we've got Raguel, this blue guy here, right? For harmony, healthy relationships, fairness, and balance. We have Gabriel over here for communication, truth, emotional clarity. And then we have Shamuel for heart healing and compassion in all relationships. If you're looking for an affirmation this week, here's a few. I choose clarity in my connections. I choose clarity in my connections. I lead with compassion. I lead with compassion. And I build relationships that feel safe, strong, and true. So now is the part where I pull a card for you. So I'm using Angel Wisdom Tarot cards. I didn't say that up front, but a lot of you know that based on the cards. And I want you to think about a question that you would want to ask me if you were sitting right across from me right now. What question would you want to ask me? And get that in your head and hold it there. And I'm putting the cards back in the deck so that they can come back out again. So think about your question, hold it in your heart. Just hold on to that. Okay. All right. So do you feel drawn to card number 1? Do you feel drawn to card number 2? Do you feel drawn to card number 3? And do you feel drawn to card number 4? If it was number 1, it's 3 of Fire. 3 of Fire is this card that talks about long-term planning. It talks about how we are investing in our future. That could be financial. It can be anything. Keep in mind, these 4 cards don't have to have anything to do with our Angelic Weather Report this week, because this was your question. So if you're thinking about money, thinking about the future, thinking about investments, thinking about your long-term plans for your career and stuff, then this card makes a lot of sense. What does make sense for today's Angelic Weather Report is card number 2 is Ace of Water. Ace of Water is very often it's new love, new emotional experiences, new emotional relationships, new intuitive experiences, but it can also represent a new home. If you were drawn to card number 3, it's 2 of Fire. So 2 of Fire is where things are starting to go well, or things are starting to go well in financial or work and stuff like that, and it's time to expand it. If you're not feeling like things are going well, it might mean that it is time to try to move on. But this is the card where it's like time to go to the next level. And the last card is the Moon. The Moon is a card that talks about the hidden things in life, the things that we cannot see, but for which are about to be revealed. So if there's something that you can't quite seem to figure out, or something that feels to you like it isn't making sense, revelations come this week. So that's it. That's the Angelic Weather Report for the week of February 1st, 2026. If you want to know what's on my mind right now, check out my blogs by going to radleighvalentine.com. In the meantime, here we go. It's February. Talk to you again next week.